Okay, this is a mango. Very good mango. And doesn't it taste exactly ripe? I mean, it's ripe, but like it's like firm ripe. I was getting to the good stuff. So Burger King is my favorite breakfast sandwich place. Oh, it's hot. We use the microwave. Nothing compares. And I like a good Wendy's now and then with extra maple butter spread, but the Wendy's Baconator, right? Yeah. So honestly, I have nothing really to say. Excuse the rolls. Oh wait, here, let's do it. Okay. Ouch, ouch. And that video's coming out today, so hold on. Ouch. Here we are. Oh. You didn't binge and like I am. So, I think I have a lot of bingers watching me. Hey guys, hey girls, y'all bingers. Tell me. Let's begin. Ooh, I'm trying to eat some fiber. Passion fruit. Aww. Look how cute that is. Little eyeballs. Beep, beep, beep. Orlin took off his shirt today and I immediately got hard. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, have you ever heard the Free the movement? I think it has to do with modern feminism, not classic feminism, more modernized feminism. Where a group of individuals, mostly women, but I think some guys, well, of course, some guys want it. It's called Free the Nipple. And their argument is that breasts are not reproductive organs. That's a sexual or a sexual organ. This is not. So if guys can be shirtless at the beach, so should girls. If guys can be shirtless on TV, so should girls. And that's their argument. And then I told that to Orlin today. I'm like, I mean, I'm attracted to men, and I'm like, I see your chest, I get weird. Imagine the straight dudes when they see topless women, they're getting like it feels. How's that not a sexual organ? My dick's getting hard. And he's like, Nick, my second major was biology. Our biology classes literally say that breasts are part of the reproductive organs because they make milk to sustain babies. Without breasts, you don't have babies. Yeah, we have formula now, but that's a very unnatural thing that we just created and invented to help, supplement women who might have deficient milk or what can't do it, don't want to do it, blah, 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 adoption, you know. But he's like, they get big. I mean, that is a reproductive organ. It makes milk. You can't have a baby without it. It will die. It will physically die. It needs the milk. I think some babies, they might not do milk. They might do like mashed potatoes or like goat milk or something. But ideally, so I'm like, I don't know. But see, the guys that support it, of course, they want to see topless women all the time. I don't know. I love it. My favorite. So what do you think about that? Free the Nipple. Free the Nipple, a history. A campaign that started in 2015. A campaign highlights the general convention of allowing men to appear topless in public while considering it sexual or indecent for women to do the same. Asserts that it's unjust for the treatment of women. Meanwhile, in Iran, you take off a thing on your head, you're stoned or whatever, whipped. And here we want to be topless. But their point is equality. If guys can do it, why can't women? Well, if I show my I think we'd all find that indecent. So this is not mainstream. It's also relatively new. I mean, 10 years ago, no one knew what this was. I mean, at least this formal movement wasn't started. So it started on Facebook, hashtag free. Two protesters arrested for indecent exposure on a Bernie Sanders campaign. They allege that their actions are not lewd because mammary glands are not sexual organs, but rather they have a purpose of breastfeeding children, and she believes that they're not showing genitals, so they're different. Well, is her belief like based in fact, or is it just her belief? But California's indecent exposure only applies to genitals, not breasts. Well, if that's what their law is, then that's their law. So then she can be shirtless, I guess. Oh. Honestly, I think maybe I have an advantage because if I go to the beach, I gotta look at all these hot guys. I can see their chest and pecs and whatever. I just think, like, if you have women being all shirtless at the beach, you're gonna get a lot of people, and then there's children there. It's gonna be a very uncomfortable situation with all this like explosion. I mean, they show in the movie, and already it's PG-13 or R-rated because, again, court cases. Here we go. I don't know. I just thought of it randomly in the kitchen because he was shirtless, and I'm like, that makes me think of freedom. What would happen if all the women were topless? I guess guys can't if they like women. But like I'm saying, she says it's not a reproductive organ, but what is science say? They are considered a secondary organ. Secondary, okay, it's still an organ. While they're not reproductive organs, they're categorized as secondary characteristics because at puberty they grow. They're made of connective tissue and fat that contains glands to make milk for babies and reproductive things. However, they're not just like wide hips and pubic hair. Fully signify sexual maturation for women. I mean, should I be able to show my hair at the beach? Well, then there's wide hips. I mean, people are attracted to toes. I'm sure you see some girls' feet and they're like, "Ooh, I'm hard," you know. Some people like hands. You know, you can have a for anything. I don't know. Where do we draw the line? I mean, they have nude beaches out there, but I've never been to one. But I have friends that have been to them. Not all friends, but most friends. And like, you see everyone there's as fuck. Everyone there's as fuck. They just are. They're showing it off. It feels good to show it off. You like to look and browse. It's literally an waiting to happen. And there's people like, oh, it's all natural. Oh, it is natural. It is the human body. But what's the purpose of living? According to biology, to reproduce and to eat. Those are your two purposes in life. Think of every other species, every animal. Their purpose is to eat and However, you would consider a new beach to be very inappropriate for many different people. Maybe very religious people or different marital statuses, or there's people under children. So if that's inappropriate there, well, again, the being shown too. That's what it is. They're saying the boobs are not okay. Hide the pussy, hide the dick, but show the boobs. I think because it's categorized as a secondary sex organ, it's still a organ. It's just a type of it. It's a subset. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think men and women are created differently in ways. I mean, we can be equal in the same opportunities, but we're not equal in the sense of we have the same outcomes or we are identical in appearance and purpose and all this stuff. I almost think they're saying it's not fair that a guy can be shirtless, but they can't. It's just not fair. Well, I can't get pregnant. If I wanted to get pregnant, I physically couldn't. That's not fair. But life isn't fair. Let's celebrate our differences. How about? I don't know. Why don't we celebrate our differences? Maybe you really want to be shirtless. Then go to a beach or be in a setting where it's okay. I don't say that in like a demeaning way, like oh, putting down people. I say it in we are different. People are different. And it's to be celebrated. It's a good thing. There's things I wish I could, like I said, maybe I would like to get pregnant. I can't. I can't physically get pregnant. Aren't they doing like surgeries now where they like implant the baby? I think I saw on the news like a guy got pregnant. They like put the baby inside or something. Okay, you have your few exceptions. There's always exceptions to every rule. But overall, excuse me, that's a difference that it's not equal. I just want to know what's the purpose. Is it just jealous? Like, I wish, for example, this died. Meanwhile, I'm shirtless. Free the I just kind of realized this was not on purpose. Oh my god, that's so irony. That's so ironic. I'm shirtless while talking about free the What was I gonna say? For example, this is so bad. I mean, maybe I don't have enough education to really speak any more about it. There might be more arguments to be heard. I mean, I don't really see it taking off places. I mean, I personally have never seen topless women at the grocery store, have you? But then again, guys can't be topless there either. The policy is no clothes, no service, right? No shoes, no service. Is it legal for a man to be topless walking down the street of New York City? I think so. Is it legal for a woman? It might be, technically. But no one does it. Because there's also like, I don't say social norms, but like a certain comfort zone that people are used to. Sometimes you have to say, what's the straw that breaks the camel's back? I mean, before 20 years ago, you did not see people in the movies very often holding hands, kissing, main characters. Now, I just boarded a flight to a Delta flight. What was it, a couple months ago? And you're boarding the terminal, and there's this huge poster of two guys cuddling. And I saw too, what was it? I literally just texted her earlier. There was an ad for something on the computer. It was, I'm gonna tell you what it was. I sent him a photo. I'm like, look, we're being represented, LOL, or something like that. Here it is. I was looking at credit cards, and this was on Nerd Wallet. They have a photo of two guys. Clearly, you can tell by just looking at them. I mean, I can, but they're like, their arms are wrapped to each other. Like, straight guys don't do that. Clearly, it's a family, right? I was on Nerd Wallet. I was looking at credit cards, comparing different features. That was not a thing, and now that it's a thing, you know, I see it everywhere. I think it was what bank had like 2 men. It's usually men, usually not women. It's usually men. I don't really see lesbians that often now that I think about it. When they're trying to show family, like, I think it was a bank. It's one thing to see 2 guys, you know, cuddling, but once you start becoming naked, shirtless, now we're dealing with the whole world. You know, airports, magazines. I mean, I don't know. You can't censor everything from the world. I'm just like, how would that play out at the airports or whatever? Just shirtless women walking. Like, I'm from London. I'm going to go to New York to go see America. I'm so excited to go to America. You land in New York and all the women are shirtless walking. And you're like, what? You know, it might be a shock. On the other hand, you go to a Muslim country, some of the Arabian ones, and they're covered from head to toe. That's also a shock. You're like, oh, these people can't even breathe in here. The torture out 100 degrees outside in the sun, and they're black cloths on top of it. So now they're like ovens heating up. I feel for the people. I don't know. What would happen? What would happen? I guess nothing will happen. The world would still turn. But how do you explain it to kids? For example, when I was a kid, I remember I was out with my family, my godparents, and my neighbors. It was a huge dinner for something. Oh, a bat mitzvah. Not the actual event, but like a pre-event. We all had dinner, and then like a couple days later was party. I forget what it was called. It was a pre-event, right? It was at this restaurant, this fancy restaurant. That had all these beautiful paintings, decorations, marble statues, carvings, fancy. And I said, I have to go to the bathroom. My dad said, okay, let's go, I'll walk you there. And we had to like walk down a set of stairs. It like went this way and turned and went back down. It was like, you know, when you go down the stairs, it's like this, and you turn and then go down this way. You know what I mean? Well, right at the landing, the turnaround area, was a painting of a woman, and her were there. And my dad literally put his hands over my eyes and said, keep walking, Nick. Don't look, Nick. Just look at the steps. Look at the steps. And I had already taken a peek. And I knew, oh, those are... How old was I? I don't know. But I wasn't allowed to look. Now, is that a sex organ? No, but why was I not allowed to see it? I was not allowed to watch Titanic until I was 18 because the were involved. I had stricter parents than other people, but I think the world still sees it as a part of. But I get their point. You know, you ever see Iz, the big Hawaiian guy, and he has big old. Well, I mean, he passed away now, but they were big. They looked identical to women's. I mean, sometimes you're so fat. So why is it okay that guys and girls don't? Guys can, girls can't? I guess the difference is hers are made to feed a child. They're made to supplement life. They're reproductive secondary organs. They get bit. They literally grow in size when it's pregnant. And it's what turns people on. I mean, so I get turned on when I see guys with their chests and stuff, but I think it just kind of has always been that way. But maybe I don't know enough about history. Was it always that way? Look at the classical periods. Look at what ancient China did. Indians, what about India? I want to study Indian history. Could women show their because usually if we're trying to figure it out, is it just our society that's scared to show this, or is it something that's just kind of like evident for always? For rights, for example, you can see before certain Christian, Islamic, all these different religions kind of like controlling stuff. You see that back in the day, there were Hindu people back in India before the British rule came over and implemented their penal codes. People were allowed to be free and think and have relationships, and they were shown in the art. They were shown in their history and their architecture, or whatever. You know, you can look it up. But what were there topless people? Topless women. Free the nipple. Were there topless women? I don't know. I never really paid attention. I feel like not, because every time you read the books and stuff and you look, they all have clothes on. The art, the paintings, even the caveman paintings, they always covered the women up here. The guys were shirtless with their bows and arrows going after the pigs and the hogs, you know, the Paleolithic cavemen, but the women were still covered. They're usually topless in like some African cultures. I've seen like National Geographic. They're usually topless. So, I mean, I did not think I would talk about this deeply today. I literally was just hungry. And I also owe you a video. Some people have been, oh Nick, where's your video? Depends on what's going on in my life. Well, I'm done my Burger King. Done my passion fruit. Ooh. I want to know your thoughts. I'm not saying I'm right, by the way. I'm thinking freely and openly and trying to... That's what you gotta do. And maybe y'all can teach me something. There's probably a lot of stuff I don't know. I'll never forget that. Don't look, Nick. Keep walking. He literally put his hands on my eyes.